But the next voice you hear will be Governor Ducey, who has joined us in studio. And Governor, as you look at this, what do you feel? What are you seeing?
Well, I am here to help the teachers. I just came from the state capitol. I'm meeting with legislators and saying it's time to pass this pay raise. We've proposed a 20% pay increase for our teachers by 2020. We also have additional money for support staff, counselors, crossing guards, other folks that are inside these schools. We've got a growing economy here in the state of Arizona. This is an issue that needs to be addressed. We have confidence that we have the dollars available. So I want to answer the question for these teachers and get these pay raises passed.
Are you confident or pessimistic that something can be done to get the kids back in school by Monday?
I'm confident that something can be done, but this is a call to leadership and it is a call to action. That's why I've been dealing directly with legislative leadership, Republicans and Democrats. I don't think this is a partisan issue, and saying let's solve this issue, let's answer this for our teachers, for the people inside our schools, and for our citizens. I'm concerned when there is a teacher strike. These kids are out of school, parents are working, they have to bring a child with them or find daycare, and many of these kids eat breakfast and lunch at school as well, so that's top of mind for me.
Yeah, and I mentioned the term collateral damage in all of this, and ultimately I think everyone's intentions are good. The teachers' intentions are good, but they deserve more pay. Your intentions are good, but you need the legislature in a sustainable manner so that the teachers can get the money that you want to get them.
Yes, absolutely. The teachers have earned this pay raise. We are getting good results inside of our schools. Our kids are leading the nation in math and reading. So I know people like to talk about funding statistics, and we do need to address those. But in terms of a child being able to have access to an excellent education in the state of Arizona, we have that available. We need to improve it. It's not perfect. We're making real progress, but the teachers have earned this pay raise. I'm calling on the legislature to work together to get this passed. I want to answer this question for the teachers as soon as possible.
Okay, what about this whole 1% sales tax increase? That we've talked about that a lot. We've heard from our viewers from 12 News. They said that they would be in support of that. A number of people would. Would you increase the sales tax by 1% to generate, basically you need $1 billion?
So when somebody's talking about a tax increase, they're talking about that they need more funds. Now, I think you saw the CBO report and the FAC report that's been validated by Moody's and the Seidman Institute at Arizona State and the Eller School of Management, that the forecast that we're putting out right now that would allow us to give teachers in Arizona a 20% pay increase by 2020, along with $100 million in additional assistance. And to simplify that, that's the support staffs, the counselors, the other people inside the school that need money as well, with flexibility for the superintendents to apply it where necessary, textbooks, school buses, those types of things. We have those dollars available. The reason we have those dollars available, Tram, is because our economy is booming here in the state of Arizona. We're one of the fastest growing states in the nation. Maricopa County is the fastest growing county in the country. Californians are coming here to live. I say often we're Chicago's favorite suburb. It's because we have a great quality of life here. It's very affordable. So I don't want to that, and I believe that a tax increase would send a message that Arizona isn't open for business like it has been. Now, I might be in a different spot if I were not able to apply these funds to our teachers, to the most pressing needs in our state government. But because our economy is growing, I do have those funds available. That's why I'm calling on the legislature in a very responsible and sustainable budget to put these funds forward so the teachers can count on them.
But Governor, all due respect, you, and in a certain respect, your hands are tied because you need this legislature to approve your plan. And it has been a contrarian legislature when it comes to endorsing education, $1 billion cut. Those are hard numbers.
Well, since I came into office, which is what I'll be held accountable for, we've put $1.7 billion additional dollars into K-12 education. We've increased per pupil spending 10%. We've increased the amount of dollars that are available for teacher pay and teacher raises 9%. And now I'm proposing a 20% pay increase by 2020. So I don't see my hands as tied. I'm going to persuade and influence this legislature to pass this bill. I've let them know that's the budget I intend to sign. And if citizens agree with me, they should go to azledge.gov find out who their legislator is, and tell them to pass the governor's teacher pay proposal plan.
How confident are you in the hammer that you can hold over their head?
I am confident. We had a lot of meetings late night last night. I would have loved to come in this morning and say we have a deal. We're getting closer. We're working through the process, but I have a sense of urgency. It is time to act. I'm ready to sign that budget right now. So I came in here because I wanted to communicate what's happening here and what's happening at the state capitol, but I'm going to head back to work, and we're going to get this done.
You know, a lot of people think that, okay, the promise words. Today, you're saying that you have been working at it, but a lot of people, including Joe Thomas, the Arizona Education Association president, he has said that every educator wishes this did not have to happen. This right here, what you are seeing, the tens of thousands right in your front yard right here, nothing has worked. He said that phone calls,
Tram,
emails, letters.
Untrue. That's untrue. And these aren't just words. $1.7 billion is more than just words. A 10% increase in per student spending is more than just words. The 4% raise last year and a 20% increase that will be permanent, ongoing, and in the base. The teachers will have this raise, and they will be able to count on this raise once we pass this in the budget. But they are much more than just words. This is action and results for our teachers. They've earned it.
Governor, we're hearing that there may be, the legislature may push for a 4-year plan instead of a 3-year plan. Can you talk about that?
Well, I am open-minded, and I will be flexible. I said to many legislators, the last thing I want to appear is to be imperial or inflexible here. But what I'm not going to budge on is a teacher pay increase and additional dollars for support staff. This is a real issue we need to solve. You're in elective office for a reason. It's time to move on this budget.
But that would mean that it wouldn't be 20 by 2020. It would be 20 by 21.
These are hypotheticals, and what I want to deliver on, what I've committed to, is 20% pay increase by the year 2020.
So you would not budge on that?
This is what I'm committed to.
And what about sitting down with Joe Thomas and those folks? They keep saying on our air that you won't sit down with them.
I've sat down with and listened to a lot of teachers, and a lot of teachers inside the Red for Ed movement. I've sat down with our superintendents, and I've been listening to what they're saying. I think it's time to sit down with people that can actually affect the outcome, to address teacher pay, to address support staff, to address per pupil spending. That's what I'm acting on, and hopefully the next time I'm here I can tell you what the result is.
But wouldn't it make sense to sit down with the Joe Thomases of the world and say, look, spell out exactly what you want, and let me take your message to the legislature. Let's try to work together, and let's get the teachers and the students back in school.
I'm here for the teachers and the kids inside the classroom. Those are the people that I've been listening to. I know how to address spending, and I know how to pass a state budget. We've done 3. They've been fiscally responsible, and our economy has been growing, and it's put us in a position where we can make this type of commitment in the budget permanent and ongoing to our teachers, and that's what I intend to do.
When you talk about the economy growing and people moving here, we obviously know it is a great place to live, but that is still not technically guaranteed. I mean, critics have said that you're making rosy revenue projections. What do you say to that?
I say that Moody's has verified these revenue projections, along with the W.P. Carey School at Arizona State, the Eller School at U of A, the CBO, and the Financial Advisory Committee. Regardless, if the economy were to change, and someday it will change, the teachers' raises will be in the base budget. They will receive those raises. We've had to make difficult decisions in the past. That's what you sign up for when you run for governor. This is a situation that I want to bring a solution to, commit to the teachers on the raises, bring more dollars in support staff. But these dollars are there. They are real. I think the Congressional Budget Office, which is a nonpartisan federal office, said we'll have over $1.5 billion in additional revenues in the state of Arizona over the next 5 years. So we're solving this in a very responsible way.
Does it, when you see scenes like this and you talk about recruiting businesses to come to Arizona, and Maricopa County, as you mentioned, is red hot right now, that at some point that will start to detract from Arizona because people say, well, wait a minute, if all of those teachers and parents are marching in protest because teachers are so poorly paid and the state of Arizona education isn't where it should be, not even in the middle of the country, but near the bottom.
Mark, that's not true. Okay, our results inside of our classrooms, the results and outcomes for our kids, a child's ability to receive an excellent education in Arizona, that exists in so many of our places. We need to do that more often. Now, our teachers do need more pay, and I want to address this, but I'm the one who sits with the CEOs and the business owners and the job creators that are considering Arizona, and they're flocking here. Okay, we've had over 200,000 people that have moved here since 2015. We've grown over 160,000 private sector jobs. It puts us in a position where we can address this teacher pay and additional dollars to our schools, which we need, and that's what we're doing.
So when you see scenes like this, you don't think that this reflects on a national basis negatively on the state?
I think if we don't solve this, I think this is a responsibility to bring a solution to this issue, which is a very real issue, and that's the discussion I'm having with other elected leaders. This is why you ran for office, is to solve this issue, to prevent and avoid it from happening again, and that's what I intend to do.
But what happens, bottom line, if this is not passed, the 20 by 2020?
Well, that's my commitment, is to get it passed. So I've enjoyed talking to you, but I'm going to go back to the state capitol and get to work.
Let me, before you go, and I appreciate your coming down, by the way, I didn't even mention that at the beginning. For all the parents that are home with their kids today and they had to skip work and their summer vacations may be affected if this is a long, drawn-out thing, what would you say to the parents who are watching today?
Well, first I want to say that I'm thinking about the parents in this situation. I know the pressure that this puts on a parent, especially when they're working and may have to take a child to work or find daycare for the kids to get their breakfast or lunch from these schools. So my commitment is to get this solved. And I think if we get a 20% pay raise to our teachers by 2020 and a strike continues, that just doesn't make sense to parents, it doesn't make sense to citizens. I don't think it would make sense to teachers. That's why I'm so focused on getting this done and being able to deliver, that we have gotten over the goal line on this and that we can commit to this through 2020. So I do have the parents in mind, and I want the kids back in the classroom. I want our teachers doing what they do best, which is teaching inside the classroom. And I realize graduations are coming up and summer vacations and internships, and people are going off on their missions and to the military. So I want to get this solved. I have a high sense of urgency here. It's time to take action. azleg.gov. Please tell your legislator you want to see these teachers get this pay increase.
Okay, we're going to let you get back to work. Let's pass this thing.
Governor, you had a chance to do something very special right here, right now. We wish you luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Governor Doug Ducey.
So much.